The incredible immune system, your body's defense against invaders. Every second of your life, you are under attack. Billions of bacteria, viruses, and fungi are constantly trying to make your body their home. To protect you from these invaders, your body has developed an incredibly complex defense system, a tiny army equipped with guards, soldiers, intelligence units, weapons factories, and communication networks. This system is designed to keep you alive and healthy. In this video, we'll explore how your immune system works, focusing on its 12 key jobs, 21 different cell types, and 2 protein forces. These cells can perform up to 4 different tasks, and we'll break down how they interact to keep you safe. Let's start by making this complex system easier to understand. First, we'll assign colors to the different jobs of the immune system. Then, we'll illustrate the cells. The central color of each cell represents its main job, while the surrounding colors show its secondary duties. Now, the immune system looks like this. And here's how the cells interact. Isn't this complexity amazing? For this video, we'll focus on these specific cells and ignore the rest. So, what happens when you get an infection? Imagine it's a beautiful day, and suddenly, you accidentally cut yourself on a rusty nail. The first barrier of your immune system, your skin, is breached. Bacteria nearby seize the opportunity and enter your wound. They start consuming your body's resources and double their numbers every 20 minutes. At first, they go unnoticed, but once their population reaches a certain size, they begin to damage your body by altering their environment. Your immune system must stop them as quickly as possible. The first responders are your guard cells, known as macrophages. These are massive cells that patrol every border region of your body. Most of the time, they can handle an attack on their own. Each macrophage can devour up to 100 intruders. They swallow the invaders whole, trapping them in a membrane, and then use enzymes to break them down and kill them. Additionally, macrophages cause inflammation by signaling blood vessels to release water into the battlefield, making it easier for your immune cells to fight. You might notice this as a mild swelling. If the macrophages are overwhelmed, they call for backup by releasing messenger proteins that communicate the location and urgency of the threat. Neutrophils, which usually patrol your bloodstream, rush to the battlefield. These cells fight so aggressively that they sometimes kill healthy cells in the process. They also create barriers that trap and kill bacteria. Neutrophils are so deadly that they are programmed to self-destruct after 5 days to prevent excessive damage to your body. If the neutrophils aren't enough to stop the invasion, the brain of the immune system, the dendritic cell, steps in. Dendritic cells respond to signals from the soldiers and start collecting samples from the enemies. They rip the invaders apart and display the pieces on their outer layer. Then, the dendritic cell makes a critical decision. Should it call for antivirus forces to kill infected body cells, or should it summon an army of bacteria killers? In this case, antibacteria forces are needed. The dendritic cell travels to the nearest lymph node, a journey that takes about a day. Inside the lymph node, billions of helper and killer T cells are waiting to be activated. When T cells are born, they undergo a rigorous training process, and only a quarter survive. The surviving cells are equipped with a specific setup. The dendritic cell searches for a helper T cell with the right setup, one that can bind to the pieces of the invaders displayed on its membrane. When it finds the right match, a chain reaction occurs. The helper T cell is activated and quickly duplicates thousands of times. Some of these cells become memory T cells, which remain in the lymph node and make you practically immune to this enemy in the future. Others travel to the battlefield to assist in the fight. A third group heads to the center of the lymph node to activate a powerful weapons factory. Like T cells, B cells are born with a specific setup. When a B cell and a T cell with matching setups meet, the B cell rapidly duplicates and starts producing millions of tiny weapons. These weapons are antibodies, small proteins designed to bind to the surface of specific invaders. There are different types of antibodies, each with slightly different roles. Helper T cells tell the B cells which type of antibody is needed most for this particular invasion. Millions of antibodies flood your bloodstream and saturate your body. Meanwhile, at the site of infection, the situation is becoming dire. The invaders have multiplied and are causing significant damage. Guard and attack cells are fighting hard, but many are dying in the process. Helper T cells support them by ordering them to be more aggressive and to stay alive longer. However, without additional help, they can't overcome the bacteria. But now, the second line of defense arrives. Billions of antibodies flood the battlefield, disabling many of the invaders and either killing them or rendering them helpless. The antibodies also stun the bacteria, making them easy targets. Their structure allows them to connect to killer cells, making it easier for these cells to destroy the enemy. Macrophages are particularly effective at devouring bacteria that antibodies have attached to. With this combined effort, the balance shifts, and the infection is wiped out. By this point, millions of your body's cells have died. However, this isn't a major issue, as the losses are quickly replenished. Most of the immune cells are now useless and, without constant signals, they self-destruct to conserve resources. But some cells remain, the memory cells. If you encounter this enemy again in the future, these cells will be ready to fight, often eliminating the threat before you even notice. This explanation is a very simplified version of how parts of your immune system work. Can you imagine how complex this system is, even at this basic level, when we're ignoring so many players and all the intricate chemistry involved? Life is incredibly complicated, but if we take the time to understand it, we'll discover endless wonders and incredible beauty.